Arsenal rounded up their UEFA Champions League group stage with a 1-1 draw at the Philips Stadium. Edin Nketiah's first half effort netted the North Londoners' goal before Iobe Vertonghen equalized. Both sides were already through to the knockout stages, and with top spot guaranteed for Arsenal in the Group B, Mikel Arteta was able to shuffle his pack. The game also saw Edin Nketiah marking his maiden Champions League start with a debut goal in the competition as Arsenal shared an entertaining 1-1 draw with PSV. The Eredivisie leaders made most of the early runnings, with USA international Ricardo Pepi denied by a last-ditch block from Gabriel. But Arsenal grew into the contest, and in the 41st minute, Reiss Nelson exchanged passes with Cedric Soares to find Nketiah. The England international took a fine first touch before clipping a left-footed shot beyond Walter Benitez for his 6th goal of the season. PSV proved to be hardly deterred by the goal as they began the second half as brightly as the first half and finally got their reward. It was a pair of Americans who combined in the build-up as Malik Tillman carried the ball forward from PSV's defensive third and picked up Ricardo Pepi with a threaded through ball in behind. Pepi dribbled to the edge of the box before laying it off for Iobe Vertonghen, who made the overlapping run into the penalty area at the perfect time. Vertonghen called a deft strike off the inside of the far post with his first touch to make it 1-1. The versatility of Declan Rice was brought to test again as the England international again proved he can fix a key concern for Mikel Arteta following his performance in the game. The England international was deployed at centre-back after coming on as a substitute with half an hour left to play at the Philips Stadium. Although the result of the game had no effect on the table, it was an avenue for Arteta to carry out some experiments with Rice playing in the new role. Speaking after the game, the Arsenal boss explained his decision to play the 24-year-old in defence. "We are short at the back. I really wanted to try, if something happens, how we are going to resolve that situation. I thought it was really good." With a handful of games coming up, we'll take a look at some of the injury concerns facing some of the players and assess their possible return dates to action. We'll start up with Takehiro Tomiyasu. The Japan international suffered a calf injury in Arsenal's 2-1 home win against Wolverhampton Wanderers earlier this month. The player was arguably enjoying the best spell of his time at the Emirates Stadium. Arteta suggested the versatile defender was facing a while on the sidelines and will be wary of his upcoming international commitments with Japan as they prepare for the rescheduled AFC Asia Cup in January. With the 2023 AFC Asia Cup in Qatar in January, his return could be mid-February before he plays for the club again, unless he can sneak in a couple of games before that trip. Fabio Vieira. Vieira's ongoing attempt to prove his value to Arteta have been hammered by a lingering groin injury that required surgery last month. The Portuguese is not expected to play again until after Arsenal's winter break in January, meaning he won't be in contention until January 20th at the earliest. Mohamed Elneny is another player who has been left frustrated with a series of injuries. The Egypt international made his first start of the season against PSV in midweek, but hobbled out of the action on the hour mark after suffering what appeared to be a hamstring injury. The midfielder will now undergo further assessment to determine the severity of his latest problem. It is not known when he may likely return to action. Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian winger was surprisingly absent for the 1-1 draw in Eindhoven on Tuesday night after succumbing to an illness. He will be assessed ahead of the weekend, but it seems unlikely at this stage that he will miss another game. Jurrien Timber. It was a terrible blow for Arsenal on the first day of the Premier League season when summer signing Timber suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury just weeks after completing a move to the Emirates Stadium. Arteta has confirmed the former Ajax defender is making progress after undergoing surgery. He is doing well, Arteta said. Obviously, he's going through a really significant injury, but he's flying, to be fair, the stage he is right now. The way he walks every single day is incredibly satisfying to watch, but unfortunately, we are going to miss him still for a long time. Well, the potential return date for the Dutch international is unknown. And to wrap it up, Thomas Partey still remains out after he was forced to undergo surgery on the thigh injury he suffered in training, but will hope to make a return to action in the new year. There had been some talk of a pre-Christmas return, but Gunners boss Arteta admitted he was unsure if that was a realistic target. Well, we'll wait and see, and hopefully these guys get back to their fit stronger and better to help the team as we approach the second half of the season. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you some other time.